that one thing about the Charlottesville that I ranted about.
Yes.
And I was wrong.
About the both sides thing.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the actor Michael Rappaport admitting that he was wrong when he criticized Donald Trump for praising people on both sides of the Charlottesville situation back in 2017. Now, this is a really interesting turn of events for Michael Rappaport, because if Trump derangement syndrome had a patient zero, it would be him. This guy has been one of the biggest anti-Trump people in the world for many, 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 many years. But as of late, he's kind of been softening his stance. He recently said he might vote for Trump because of what's happening right now under the Biden administration. That was a big breakthrough. That was a big revelation. And now he is admitting that he was wrong when he criticized Trump for the quote unquote good people on both sides remarks going back to 2017. Now, there's a lot I want to get into, but first, if you don't quite know what I'm talking about or you need a refresher, let's go back to 2017. This is in Charlottesville, Virginia, on the campus of University of Virginia. Now, there was a statue of Robert E. Lee, and it was set to be removed, or there was going to be a vote. I can't really remember which one it was. Either way, the statue was in jeopardy of being removed, which ultimately it was. But this protest was to keep the statue there or to have it be gone. You had people on both sides of that particular question. Now, you had regular normies, college students, or whatever there, but you also had some extremist groups. You had some neo-Nazis, some Klan, some Antifa, some Black Lives Matter, some general rabble-rousers, guys who went there to just start trouble. And unfortunately, as a result of the chaos and the melee that ensued, a person lost their life, Heather Heyer. May she rest in peace. Now, this became a thing that the media blamed Trump for, saying, you incited this is your fault. And then he made comments afterward, and then he said the infamous good people on both sides comment, and then that was interpreted by the media and Rappaport and guys like him. They were trying to say, oh, well, what's the good side of a neo-Nazi? What's the good side of a white supremacist? But as I said from the beginning, on both sides of the issue of the statue of Robert E. Lee, you had regular normies, just people, college students, regular mom and pops, not any of the extremist groups. But you also had on both sides the extremist groups. These are not the good people. But of course, the media doing what they do, they want to interpret it how they want to interpret it. Before I go any further, let's check out Trump's original comments from back in 2017. This is August 15th, 2017. And of course, I will link to this in the box. Then we're going to get to Rappaport's most recent comments on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, in which he regrets ranting on Trump so hard over these statements. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
But you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
That's just facts, though. That's facts, because both sides had violent actors. Both sides had regular normies. It was not just one side came to fight and the other side was docile. That's not the way it was.
It's on both sides, sir. You said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather Heyer
Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as you. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Now, I'm going to pause it right there. What I said to describe this is accurate. And that's what he's saying right now. You had bad groups on both sides. You also had good groups on both sides. That's the reality. Now, let's skip forward. We're going to see Rappaport talk about Charlottesville a little bit. I was not able to find the specific comments of him talking about the both sides remarks, but here he is talking about Charlottesville, and I'm playing this for a specific reason that I'm going to tell you after it's done.
Last night in Charlottesville, Virginia, a bunch of white nationalists carrying tiki torches that they got from Home Depot, wearing skinny jeans, drinking coffee, came out for a protest saying, "White lives matter, white lives matter." You know your life ain't if you're a college student on a Friday night during the summertime. You ain't getting no and you decide to come out for a protest carrying tiki torches, talking little coffee cup carrying white nationalists. You ain't. If you was really trying to get it popping, you would have taken your little Ed Sheeran protest right over there to Virginia Beach or Newport News, and you would have got your tiki torches stuffed up your ass. Revenge of the nerd protesters. Eat some pizza, take a few bong rips. Don't you got a f***ing toga party to go to? It's Friday night. Try to get to second base with a girl, you f***ing loser. Talking about white lives matter, throwing up Nazi salutes. Dorm room, dumb f***.
Okay, so there's a lot there. First of all, I'm from Virginia. I lived in Newport News, and I've been to Charlottesville. That's a very far distance. It's like 4 hours away. That's not a close thing. Charlottesville, that's way out west, kind of north. Newport News, Virginia Beach, that's like right there on the water, on the ocean front, kind of right on the coast. So these are not two places that are anywhere close to each other. And anybody going to do nothing in Newport News? Not really. I mean, there was a little protest similar to this in Portsmouth, which is one of the worst hood areas, I guess you would say, in Virginia. And it wasn't really that bad. Actually, the person who got hurt was one of the protesters, hurt himself because a statue fell on him and hit him in the head and kind of squished him. That was a whole crazy situation. And I digress. Let's get to the Patrick Bet David podcast here to see his recent remarks.
So if you believe in the Obama doctrine, all right, be nice to each other, whatever, there's no way you were voting for Trump. It just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't happening. It was abrasive. He was racist. The media, yada yada yada.
And he was a joke. Like as New Yorkers, like he was like,
yeah,
he's a ball busting troll.
Exactly.
He's a
here's why I think you're going to vote for him this time, because you've seen what happened under his first term. You didn't like it. He's the pig, and he's got the mean tweets, and he's orange. But life was good. There was no wars. The economy was going good. But damn, he's annoying to look at. But you also can acknowledge that the media had a major role in that. A major role in that.
When you take a step back.
Yes. You also acknowledge that.
Because I will acknowledge that, that one thing about the Charlottesville that I ranted about.
Yes.
And I was wrong.
About the both sides thing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that he's able to admit when he was wrong. Now, I need you to go on a tour and talk about how wrong you are. The same way you were making all these videos ranting against Trump, being, again, patient zero for Trump's derangement syndrome. The same way you did that, I want you to go out there and turn over a new leaf and talk about how much, talk about the truth of the matter rather than all this stuff that comes from a place of hatred.
Yeah, and I respect
so irresponsible.
And I respect the shit.
Wait, let me hear him out. Hang on. Yeah. Go a little bit more. What do you mean by that? You were wrong on that.
No, because he said the both sides, there's good people on both sides. And when you see the full quote, that wasn't what he said. And I ranted on him hard for that. Mm-hmm. Hard. There's some video about it, whatever. I mean, I ranted hard because I was like, what are you talking about, man?
Because you got played. And here's what this is why I think you're going to vote for Trump. Is because you, much like me, much like many people, independent thinkers, not the sheep, realize we kind of got played a little bit. Yes, Trump ain't exactly the smoothest character. He's not
Jesus Christ.
No, but his policies and who he has around him are way better than what's going on there. And here's my final point. You see what's going on with the border. You see what's going on with the wokeness. You see what's going on with culture wars. And you see what's going on with actual wars.
Yeah.
Specifically, you see who the Democrats have exposed their hand.
Now, as I close, I want to say this. Do you think he's going to vote for Trump? I don't know about that. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. If he did, I'm not quite sure that he would reveal it. I mean, shoot, for all we know, he could have voted for Trump in 2020 and didn't tell anybody. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody that's able to understand when they were played, when they were fooled, when they got things wrong, and can atone for it. who can own up to it, take accountability. I respect that. I appreciate that. But let's not do any of the nonsense going forward. If you're going to turn over a new leaf, then do that for real all the time, not just sometimes when it's convenient or when you feel like it's okay and it's not too embarrassing for you to do so. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion on what's happening here with Rappaport? Do you think that he's genuine in saying that he got it wrong about the whole good people on both sides? How do you feel about that particular remark and the video I played earlier of Trump explaining it, and also with my explanation? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think a lot of the people that have Trump derangement syndrome are starting to see their symptoms decrease. They're starting to get back healthy again because he's not there anymore. Ain't no orange man to get mad at. You got to talk about your guy. So when Trump's not there, when Trump's not in office and he's not the one running the country, you can't blame him anymore. You cannot blame him for the migrant crisis. You cannot blame him for the economy. You cannot blame him for the inflation. You got to look at your guy, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, is this who I voted for? Is this what I voted for? Things were better under the orange man, so maybe I got it wrong. So again, that kind of thing can decrease your symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome, which is what I think your guy Rappaport is experiencing. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.